This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Hayabusa, the leader in combat sports gear. Get 20% off with code MMA Nuts at HayabusAFight.com. HostGator, the leader in hosting. Save 40% off shared hosting with code MMA40. RemFit, active lifestyle bedding and fitness products. Now featuring the RemFit sleep and activity tracking. Save 20% with code MMA Nuts at rem-fit.com. Defense Soap, the ultimate soap for wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and MMA athletes. Get 15% off with code MMA Nuts at defensesoap.com. Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 249!
249!
My name is Ingo Weigold.
I agree with that. My show by my fans, for my fans, we're locked line between serious and ridiculous. What's happening?
Nothing.
Great.
You know, things.
We go from 0 to 100 here.
Things be happening around here.
Things.
Things happening in the worlds of the worlds.
It's true.
Hey,
What?
I'd like to give a shout out to our LBJBT, whatever the fuck you are out there, who now have the ability to get married.
That's right. Fuck like champs tonight.
Yes. And every
And
night.
make babies.
They can't.
Oh, don't make babies. But try, right?
Plus and plus don't make a minus.
I don't know. It's all good.
Minus and
That's all I'm
minus
trying
makes
to
a plus,
say.
though, so, that's interesting.
All good.
How does that happen? It's weird. Two negatives make a positive? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So, good on you.
That's right. Who cares?
I like it. It's crazy shit happening in the world, man. There's like all kinds of...
It's a lot of smoke and mirrors is what I'm feeling like.
We were
I
talking
feel like
about
we're
this
getting
before.
distracted.
You said something about Confederate flag business down south in Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Which has been flying there for years and years, like in the Capitol. We got the...
And then
lesbian gay
Apple
thing.
and Amazon banning sales of anything Civil War
I didn't know
or
about that.
Confederate
Oh, that's what
flag
you meant
related,
earlier.
but
Ah.
yet they will still sell Nazi paraphernalia.
Nice.
You know, whatever.
Yeah. And I've been dealing with this Amazon tax law. Have you heard about this?
No.
Yeah, apparently there's about 24 states right now already involved in this, where if you are shipping to their state and you're part of this like new tax thing, that they will, there's an entity that collects the tax from these companies that are signed up for this program, and then they distribute it out to those states accordingly at the end of the year or quarterly. So like there's no more free tax online. So like the goal is that all 50 states will sign up for this, and eventually, like, even if you're shipping from Michigan to Chicago or Illinois in a sense, there's no free tax, but you don't pay. So that transaction is taxable, but the state of Illinois gets the tax money, not Michigan. So it's like
The state that it's getting shipped to gets the tax money.
Right.
Okay.
and there's no more free lunch online.
It's fucked up.
It is.
Because they're just going to waste more of the fucking money as it is. You don't even know how to spend it properly.
No.
So why do you take more?
Well, because they're taxes. They gotta collect the taxes, man.
Feed the monster, I guess.
Legalize marijuana. That'll be
do the important shit.
Who cares about people buying like dicks online? Whatever. There should be tax-free dick day.
Exactly. That's every Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday, tax-free dick day. Order your dick online, tax-free. So, yeah. But it's weird though, because some Oh, I forgot to mention this to you. When I went up north for vacation, Amazon has their fulfillment center in Wisconsin, up in I think it's Kenosha or something. Dude, the place is fucking huge.
I'm sure.
It's gigantic. It's right on the highway, and you drive by and you're just cruising by. You go, whoa, that is a big fucking building. I mean, it's like quarter-mile long and like quarter-mile deep or something. It's huge. And just we drove by and you just see trucks just drive, just grinding.
Automation to the next level.
Yeah. Just delivering shit, everywhere. So it's interesting. Lots of shit happening in the world. What else is going on? Anything?
I got more shots in my back.
Nice.
I was telling you about this. So
Here we go.
You go to this fucking surgery center. It's all high tech, and the cool thing is when you go to your separate waiting room, you have a lazy boy in there.
Like this one?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you sit in your lazy boy, take your blood pressure, pulse, and blah blah blah, and then you put on their little fucking outfit, your hairnet, and the little socks. You leave your underwear on, and you walk out there, and instead of taking the shots in the back, you go into the surgery room or whatever they call this thing, and you get up there and you lay face down, ass up, and They put the blood pressure monitor on, the pulse. Okay, we did this last time. I know where we're going. There's 4 people in the room, 2 women, 2 men.
So far, so good.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. And then I feel someone, open up my back and then pull my underwear down off, completely exposing my ass. And I'm okay with this. I just thought it was weird because the last time they didn't expose my ass like that.
Maybe they thought you needed a little fresh air.
Maybe. Then they're like washing my back. They're putting some hot blankets on the top of my back. My ass still exposed, still getting the airtime. And everyone's just having a conversation around me with my ass just being out. And I know it might be impressive. You might want to touch it. You might want to look at it.
Did you hear like...
I don't know. It was just really weird.
People taking pictures.
Like,
maybe they didn't want to get your underpants wet.
Maybe. Because they were using like iodine or some sort of solution to clean the area.
Yeah. So they're trying to be nice to
respectful. You. I want to think...
Or maybe in the background there's a guy with like a big dildo. And he's just like,
just waiting. Is this guy going out? Because if he's going out, this is going in.
Exactly.
No, I'm good. Woo! I support the cause, but not today.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So you're feeling better then?
Yeah, I got the shots.
Good.
Another reduction in pain.
Okay.
It's all good.
Pain reduction's good?
Yes. A little weird though.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
In the world?
Yeah, it is. Should we get into some shit?
Yeah, you want to get into some news?
Sure. What do you want to start? A little Bellator?
Yeah, let's do that.
With Joe Schilling not being as successful this year.
He's having a hard time. Maybe it's time to quit smoking, sir. I'm blaming on that.
I don't know. You think he's 2-5 in MMA, and here's a guy who goes from probably having one of the best KOs last year to being on the receiving end of maybe the KO of the year this year.
Yeah,
the Superman punch.
Only halfway, so
yeah,
we forget these things. So in
a couple weeks, I don't know what happened.
The greatest thing ever. So
fuck, man, that was tough to watch.
It was. I mean, he bounced off the canvas and bam, out. But what'd you say? It was little gloves, harder to block.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering too. Trying to make that transition from kickboxing into MMA, and if you get used to striking with the big gloves on, you can use that for more of a defense. When you have these little things, it's like having fucking bare hands. You're not going to block anything. And if you don't have any head movement, you're going to fucking eat that.
Yeah. It was like, I remember reading something that Fedor once said like a while back. We're saying like, how MMA is so different than boxing because in MMA, the goal is to not be hit ever. Because you need to be, slip and move. You don't want to take punches. Even little punches can hurt because you have no protection at all. You kind of... what are you going to do? This is wide open. Like boxing gloves, you can cover a lot of your head.
Yeah, there's a lot of surface. I mean, you see the Hayabusa gloves up there. There's a lot of surface area that you can cover up with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe he sticks to kickboxing. I don't know what his motivation is for going to MMA. Is it money related?
Probably money. I mean, and he seems to be in a good position where he could make it work if he's successful at both. It's just... he's having a challenge at MMA right now. And I want to say his next fight is going to be that September 19th cross-promotional one, the Dynamite one.
Yeah,
so hopefully he's still going to fight on there. I don't see why he would pull out, but it's like, fuck, man, you don't want to see you get brutally KO'd and then go fight again in a few months and then not be successful.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Glory and kickboxing, they just signed Hayabusa for... full sponsorship. They sponsor the gloves, official glove sponsor of Glory. Good for them.
Yeah, they were saying that since they can't do the UFC Fight Expo and they can't sponsor UFC fighters, that they have to go to non-traditional methods of sponsoring things. Hence 20% off with code MMANUTS at HayabusaFight.com.
That's correct.
Smart.
Spend your money
in the
wisely.
game.
Get in the game. Yes.
Well, there's a lot of marketing dollars getting freed up by all these companies because you're not wasting it on the UFC now.
Nope. Wasting, exactly.
It's
a waste.
I'm just saying. They put themselves in this position.
They did.
Not respecting the people that got them to where they are.
I think Hayabusa was one of their bigger sponsors, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. So.
Well, we'll see how that plays out because, as we transition to the UFC, this was actually the last event that you're going to see any sponsors in.
Oh, nice.
Vanilla UFC.
I should have watched it. Vanilla Ice.
Yes. Maybe he needs to come out. This is what you're gonna get. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with the same old edition, or something. Isn't he doing like fucking Amish woodworking and
something crazy?
His
name is like Rip Van Winkle or something.
Yeah,
right?
the Vanilla Ice project. He's working on Amish houses and.
Fuck if I know.
He was. I watched it.
Did you?
It was all right.
This guy. He's like, oh, speaking of what was all right, while I was up north, I'm addicted to these couple of shows now.
Here we go.
Treehouse Masters is one.
Yeah, I love that show.
Then there's the Last of the Alaskans.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
It's like an 8-part miniseries. You should check this out. These motherfuckers are living in a place where the only way to get to them is by plane.
That's fucked up.
If they want to eat, they have to kill shit.
Yes.
There's no food. And I mean, they build these houses and stuff. It's crazy how they're living. And it's like the big thing is like the guy goes out and he tries to hunt some bear like before the winter comes and he didn't get it yet. And there's all this pressure because if he doesn't kill a bear or whatever, or moose or whatever the fuck he's trying to kill, like they don't get to eat for the winter. That's crazy. Who the fuck lives like that?
Who would want to live like that?
It's insane. And then my wife is addicted to Cats from Hell. You see that show?
No.
Oh my God. These
this?
people have these crazy cats. And then there's a dude that comes in with these wicked sideburns. And he looks all strange. And he like is the cat whisperer. He's like the Caesar Milan of the cat world.
Was he choking a bitch out?
No, he's like analyzing how the cat's posture is. Some of these people have like cats where imagine people come over for dinner and then the cat sits by the bathroom and attacks anybody that tries to go to the bathroom.
Like that cat's getting fucking punted into the third row.
Why would you keep a cat? And some of these people have had these cats for like 10 years like this. So it's crazy. Animal Planet has some interesting shit. It's like B-level television, but it's interesting. You know, it's not quite like, you know, HGTV or Food Network or like Discovery or whatever, but it's like just, you know, like they have some good shit. So, yeah. I don't know how we got on that tangent, but
it started with Vanilla Ice and then it tangented off
downward spiral.
Other shit.
Speaking of Vanilla Ice,
go ahead.
Have you seen this crazy thing where a man?
Well, do you want to talk about the UFC real quick, like the
card?
fight?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Before we hit the rest of the news.
Yeah.
So we saw that one guy, Steve Bosse, basically get murdered with a head kick. That was the former hockey enforcer. Wasn't so successful.
Did not go well.
No.
Was he fighting a Brazilian? Was that,
Thiago Santos, I believe. Did not work out. Oh, he got brutalized. I think he's dead. I don't know.
He's not dead.
He went down. It looked like he was playing the saxophone or something. Nice. I hate to say that, but hey, it is what it is.
So hockey does not translate well to MMA.
In this case, not so much. But
we have nothing to grab onto. There's no jersey to grab onto.
Yeah, I was a little confused. How does this work? I can't grab you. You're moving and not skating. So a little confusing. And then I just want to Lorenz Larkin, I want to just give him kudos for his second fight at 170. He looked good. Leg kicks, finally paid dividends. He got the finish. Then we go to the main event with Lyoto Machida and Yoel Romero. What happened, Ingo?
You called it. You said the smaller cage was going to be a factor, and I feel that it was. I feel Machida didn't have the room to operate. I thought he won the first round. Second round was very close, so I gave it to Yoel. And then, as you all know, in the third round, things did not go Machida's way. He looked slower to me. He looked like, you know, not the guy that KO'd Rashad or, you know, played crazy like elusiveness his whole career. And Yoel looked just yoked. Like,
and like a fucking kitty cat, the way he's throwing like a jumping knee, and then he's dropping down for a takedown. He's back up, he's down, he's Superman punch off the cage.
He's crazy fast for how big
he is.
Like,
he's like a knuckleball pitcher. Like that's about the timing he has up there. But then he's throwing fastballs. It's weird because it's almost like you're out Machida-ing Machida at some point with the timing.
Yeah, timing and ridiculous athleticism.
Yes.
You know. So it was tough to watch because I'm a huge Machida fan.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's old age or if it's the weight class or if it's just he's just, you know, guys got better or whatever. They figured him out. But he hasn't looked really great in his last 3 fights. I mean, he did win one of those, I think, right?
Well, the Brockhold fight, I mean, he may have come back too soon. That was a pretty brutal KO like 2 months ago,
Mhm.
and then he's coming back to fight again, and then he gets KO'd again.
Yeah. I don't like to see guys get knocked out twice in a row.
No.
That's you know,
Like, he
that,
should have probably took 6 months to
yeah,
let shit heal and get back, and
maybe
you know
longer.
he's advancing in age too, and
Yep.
may make the case it might make sense for him to move back up to 205 now,
Perhaps.
because it seems like maybe the cut is part of the issue here.
Sure.
You know, I think he probably looked the best against Weidman, like physically, but still lost that fight. You know.
Yeah.
And now he's just fighting like murderer
it's a
at
tough division.
85. Might go back to 205. You know.
I'd like to see Yoel fight Weidman. This is after 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
last
I
night,
think
I
he's
guess.
gonna get the chance, because I think Weidman's gonna do Rockhold. That's right. He's gonna do him. And then you probably have Jacare versus Romero for the next person to fight.
Oh, okay. He's got to go through Jacare. That's a problem.
Well, I mean, you gotta, unless you're gonna sit around, because
Yeah,
both
yeah.
those guys have a legitimate,
Yeah.
you know, bid for the title now.
They do. That Jacare is a
fuck.
problem. He's very athletic too. And he's good on the ground. He's got
It's a lot of
pretty
good
striking.
fights,
It's
man,
crazy.
at 85.
Yeah.
Fun.
I'm liking it. I just hate to see Machida lose.
Yeah.
You know, it's. We'll see. It might be time. Maybe it's time for Bellator.
Could be.
You know?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, that's a good run, and that, you know, you can transition right into. Didn't someone just sign?
Josh Koscheck?
Making a comeback? Calling out Paul Daly? And I should post this too. I don't know if I have it readily available, but
Feel
Koscheck
bad for him.
just posted something on his Instagram. He's got something in his house that it looks like a Segway without the stick, so it's just on his feet, and it's got ground effects, and he's just fucking tooling around his house.
Josh
Yeah.
Koscheck?
This
He's
is
crazy.
like a $2,000 thing.
He loves
What
the
fuck is
gadgets. He
this?
has like a Ferrari and all this shit.
Good for him. If he's got
He
the
loves
coins,
he loves
spend
the
it.
gadgets, man. He's the man.
I like it.
Yeah. He always came off as a big dick, but I bet he's pretty cool in person.
Yeah, I think 90% of the guys are probably cool.
Yeah. Just
and
has that like. I just feel bad for him. Always with the eye now. Like,
Yeah.
He's like the Bisbang.
yeah,
He's got to put the oil in
he
there.
get poked or
Yeah. We'll see.
fucking pokes.
Did they announce who he's gonna fight?
Well, probably gonna Paul Daly.
Okay.
They want that rematch, and I think Koscheck called him out, and Daly accepted, and like fuck you, blah blah blah. And there's a little bit of bad blood probably since Daly hit him after the bell and got
it's
kicked
not
out of the
Koscheck.
UFC.
It's not Koscheck's fault.
No, that's his own.
He couldn't
fault.
hit him during the fight, so he had to hit him after the
I gotta
fight.
get you afterwards.
I'm gonna get you.
You son of a bitch! You said you weren't gonna hit him, and you hit him. Who was that? Murray Lyoto?
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. What else is going on?
Let's see. Well, let's broach this Jose Aldo Conor McGregor fucking nonsense that's happening.
When is that happening? Soonish, right?
Yeah, it's like a couple weeks. So probably next week we'll have to talk about it, because it depends what happens with Aldo. So the reports out of Brazil are that Aldo has a broken rib.
Okay.
And he came over to the United States. The UFC had him see some UFC doctors, and they say, oh, it's just a bruised rib. Fight could be on. And we're not really going to know until the day of the weigh-ins who Conor McGregor is going to fight. So if Jose Aldo is ruled unable to fight because of this injury, then Chad Mendes is going to step in, and he's also going to get paid regardless of if he fights or not. So he has he'll be there, he'll be ready to fight, and we'll get paid regardless.
Nice.
So I'm wondering, is this bait and switch right now?
Could be.
Because they know he's injured, Jose Aldo, may or may not fight. They've spent so much fucking money promoting this fight that someone's got to fight Conor McGregor, goddammit. And I feel like we're getting baited into it's going to be McGregor versus fucking Mendes.
Could be. I could see that.
And then we'll say the fight does go through. Isn't this tainted then? Because
Tainted.
you know he's fucking injured.
Yes. That's got to be tainted.
Is this the preemptive Brazilian strike?
Yes.
I know I'm
saying-
going to lose, so I preempt, I injure.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors coming out of it because the commission and the doctor, and nobody's really giving clear answers about what's his real physical
Yeah.
status.
And he's apparently getting that regenokine therapy right into there. But if you have something broken, I don't believe it's going to heal broken shit.
No.
You know?
No. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's very weird. And it's weird. I'm glad that they didn't give it to Edgar, even though Edgar is crying about, why don't I get another title shot? Because you're the whiniest fucker out there.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I don't like that guy. Because I got a grudge against him, Ingo. I don't know what it is. I think it's the wine.
Yeah. I don't think you ever liked Frankie Edgar.
Maybe before he got the title.
Yeah.
I'm trying to trace back in my mind, where is this grudge coming from? I think it's just all the whining.
Could be. You don't like his style.
That too.
Yeah.
He's got cardio.
Fuck him.
He's got heart. Fuck that guy.
Exactly.
He's no good for the sport. He's
Yes.
killing the game.
Yes. Before we move on to the
Go
next
ahead.
story, my wife has called me 3 times in the last 5 minutes.
All right,
Can we take a short break
Go
just to
ahead.
make sure it's not a
Sure.
major medical emergency?
You're all good.
And we're back.
Just like that.
Yes.
So what happened?
Crisis averted. Apparently my dog ate an entire tube of cortisone
Is
cream.
that bad?
I just Googled it while I was upstairs, and it's the reviews are mixed. It's basically the consensus was if she didn't eat the tube top and
Yeah,
swallow it
cap.
whole, or cap or whatever, then she's probably fine. It's just give lots of water and watch her for a
Bet that
couple of
shit
days.
must be delicious then if you take a bite and it's...
My wife is like, this shit's gone. There's nothing left. There's just scraps of like the tube. Like, wow, and it's a big tube. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like a huge like kid-sized, you know, like ass rash tube type thing. So kids had butt rash, and my
good
dog
night.
steals everything off the counter. You can't. This is the dog who would eat like the Thanksgiving turkey or ham.
Oh,
like,
I'd choke that fucker.
you know. But your dog was doing that too, right? Didn't she?
Oh yeah, I wanted to kill her. I had all this, like we had a big cookout. I had all this grass-fed meat and burgers, and there were only I think 3 grass-fed burgers, and then the rest were all just regular red meat. She ate all the fucking grass-fed ones right off the counter. She didn't do it again.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I yelled at her. I didn't hit her. I wanted to hit her, but I can't.
Dogs
hit
are
a
the
dog.
funniest when they know they've done wrong, because they just kind of they look at you and then they go.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like, they know they're peripherally looking at you, and they're like expecting to get beaten or something, and they just go, I'm not here. You can't see me. I'm not here.
My tail is fully between my legs.
Please don't kill me.
It's all good.
I can't help it. I'm stupid. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow.
That's right.
So we were talking about Aldo, McGregor. Shit's not going to happen. They're selling us
Go.
wolf tickets. I think this is a big. You should wait till the night of the fight, because they may change at the night of the fight.
Well, that's what they're saying. Like it's probably going to change at the weigh-in.
Yeah.
Like we don't officially know what's going to happen, but I just don't like it. I don't like the way this is all playing out, and it just sounds like he's going to pull out, because if he can't train, he can't cut weight. And then even
he had that problem before, though. Remember, against, who did he fight? Barao, maybe? There was one fight
Barao
where,
had that problem where he
Oh, it
was
was
cutting
Barao.
the weight and then fucking slipped in the bathtub and hit his head on.
Yeah, okay, I'm confusing the two. Yeah.
But I feel like the fight's not going to happen. Connor's going to fight somebody. It ain't going to be Aldo.
Interesting. After
Smoke
all that money
and
spent.
mirrors.
Can he not fight? It's almost like he can't
Well,
fight.
he from I think Brian Stan said it. He said like from a financial standpoint, it makes sense just for him to fucking walk out there and fight regardless. Like broken rib or not, just suck it up, get out there and fucking take your licks. Because you know what, the rematch is going to sell probably even more because they knew he was hurt going in. But
Right.
people want to see that fight. So you've spent so much money marketing that shit. You kind of need him to fight, injured or not.
Right.
As shitty as that is, but. You can't be dumping $1 million on that fucking commercial and then have him not be able to fight. But that's the risk you take in this game. He gets injured a lot, though. That's another thing where it goes back to the training. I think that their training camp is the #1 for injuries now.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man. You guys got to train smarter because it ain't working.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure a lot of guys are different. There's a fine line, and between like training too hard, not training. Everybody's different. Like
Yeah.
I see it with the guys who compete in jiu-jitsu even. They're all so different. Some guys love to train the morning of the competition. Other
That's
guys
crazy.
will stop on Wednesday and not do a fucking thing until the Saturday when the competition is. You know, and everybody has their way. And, you know, some guys, you know, like Aldo seems like he likes to redline that shit. You know, just...
But you look at his record. He hasn't lost in like fucking 10 years. So it's like...
It works.
It works and it doesn't. So, I mean...
But he's aging now, so I'm wondering if he's got to dial it back a notch because the body, you know, it can't keep up at this pace like forever.
Maybe just a little bit. Just a hair. Take it off a hair.
Yeah.
Maybe you get 1 day a week off. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe don't spar.
Maybe.
Let's move right along.
Yes.
What about this Alexander Schlemenko nonsense?
Banned 3 years.
Fuck it. Here we go. And here's the topper on all this shit. So it's not even Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now it's the California State Athletic Commission. So he tests positive with like a 50-to-1 testosterone to epitestosterone level. They said that's just like alien level of shit. Like we've never seen a test come up this high. But now we've got another challenge where I think they did 4 samples and one's missing and there's no B sample. You know what? It's another thing where there's an issue with the process. And there's a couple challenges here because one, if you can't collect everything properly and you can't test it properly, how can you fucking suspend someone for 3 years of their life when you can't take care of the first 2 things?
Anderson Silva.
Perfect example. There's another one.
Yeah,
So
the B sample came back clean.
It's right.
Huh.
If you can't get it
How's that
down,
possible?
then how can you suspend people? Because you're not competent to do it on the front side. You're not competent to do it on the back side. Period.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
Totally insane.
I think in this guy's case, that they offered him to plead guilty, and he would have only gotten a 1-year suspension. But he chose to go not guilty, so then they gave him 3 years. And it was my understanding that they basically didn't listen to anything that was said at this hearing. They kind of came in and said, well, you know what? He's getting 3 years regardless. It doesn't even fucking matter what you guys say. Just really, like, why do we even have a sport of MMA anymore if we're just going to suspend people? Granted, guy fucks up, does something bad, 1 year. I'm okay with that.
Should be
fine.
punished.
3 years, that's like a lifetime ban in my book.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna end up go fighting in Russia and probably fucking grizzly bears for all I know. I don't know what they do in Russia.
Yeah,
Like,
they
Jesus
do a lot of
Christ,
things.
man.
Yes. It's crazy.
It makes me sick.
It's crazy. The whole thing's going to get even more crazy because I was telling you before we started too that USADA's over there and ATT telling them they can't use IV bags to rehydrate, and apparently this is going to be a new thing where they're not going to allow fighters to use IV bags. So what the fuck is that all about? Because as I understand it, like 90-some% of all fighters use IV bags now to rehydrate.
Again, it's like they're trying to take a step forward to make the sport safer and cleaner, but we're taking 5 steps backwards in that process. So their reasoning behind not allowing the fighters to take an IV of more than, it said like 50 milliliters of saline was because they believe it's going to dilute the blood, so when they do the blood test, it's going to mask whatever's in it. They're not taking into consideration that they're doing it because they need to rehydrate. What do they got to do? Drink fucking 10 pounds of Pedialyte? Just anally. That's the thing. I think this is where it all comes full circle. And you go, so like when I was at the doctor, my ass, I was face down, ass up. Someone was trying to give something to me rectally. I think that's where the IVs are going.
Perfect.
Everything's going to go rectal from now on.
Yes. Yeah.
Undetectable.
It's scary to me that people are so blinded sometimes by what they're trying to do and they don't look at the big picture. I get they're trying to test for cheaters. At the same time, in doing that, they can't make their testing in a way that would endanger someone who is cutting weight and not allowing them to rehydrate properly. That there should be some sort of, again, this is a good case where a fighters union would come into play and say, listen, motherfuckers, we're okay with you testing us, but we're not okay with you stopping us from rehydrating properly, because that's dangerous. Someone's going to get their bell rung or get killed in the cage because their brain is fucked up.
And here's another question. it's not the athletic commission. So how do they have jurisdiction over what the fighter can and can't put in their body? Because this is the third party that the UFC hired to do the independent drug testing. This is not the fucking commission telling the fighters what they can and can't do. So if I'm a fighter, how can they tell me I can't use an IV when they're not the athletic commission? You know, that's what my question would be. You're not the athletic commission. You guys are just supposed to monitor me for drugs. You're not supposed to monitor me for rehydration. So I would defer to the athletic commission, be like, you guys going to make a ruling on this shit or what?
Did they?
I haven't heard from that. But again, clean sport, Ango. Fuck it. Fuck everybody.
At all costs.
Exactly. What else? How about this one? New York fails to legalize MMA yet again.
No way.
Yet again.
Why? What happened?
Why do they even try anymore? I mean, it seems pretty clear that it's just a money grab in New York. That it's if you're a politician, you're better off keeping MMA out of New York, because then you're going to get lobby money or bribes from the culinary union and from the UFC, both lobbying to get MMA, one not legal and one legal. So you're double dipping at this point.
Of course.
So stay the course.
That's right.
Right?
We're not sure. They could be persuaded with
Right.
proper motivation.
So quit feeding into the game. Like, look at all the millions of dollars UFC is wasting, or you could be giving it to the fighters. And I think even Brendan Schaub.
That's never going to fucking happen.
No. Well, Brendan Schaub made the point. It's like, God damn, look how much money they're spending on this fucking drug testing. You could have just paid the fighters more money. The amount of multi-million dollars.
So they can get better drugs?
Whatever. Just a better way of life.
He just wants to do his steroids.
I want a better way of life for the fighter, but it just seems like they just keep taking it and taking it and taking it away from those guys. Very frustrating.
It is.
And when you have the UFC middleweight champ who lives in the state and can't even do his fucking job in that state. A little bit ridiculous.
It is silly.
Even The Rock tried to help.
He did?
Chris Weidman tweeted at him. He's like, hey, Rock, can you help? The Rock tweets back. He's like, yes, I support your efforts in legalizing MMA. Did nothing! The Rock's not even strong enough to help.
Wow.
With all the juice that motherfucker is kicking in and all the weights he lifts. And this new show that kind of sucks, this baller show.
It's okay.
Not good yet. We're waiting.
I need to see episode 2 before I rule on episode 1.
Cautiously optimistic.
It could be a setup. Sometimes it takes a while to build a good thing.
Okay. I'm not quite sure.
The Rock. Smell it. And there's a guy who's like fucking, that guy's got the shit. Dude, he's everywhere. He's got a TV show on HBO. He's doing another TV show about like helping people who are in trouble. He's all over Facebook. I mean, the dude's like, he's the man.
Is he drug tested?
Yeah, and you know an interesting thing that they did with which I thought was really cool. So the other day, he's on Facebook.
Okay.
And he posts a little video saying like, whatever, check out my new show, bam, bam, and you can watch it right now. And it's the show happening right as they cut the new first season of the episode, the first episode of the season, into him talking. And it just, when he's done, the show starts, and you can watch it right on Facebook. The whole 30 minutes.
Wow, very cool.
So that's an interesting marketing idea, because here you have a megastar who has millions of followers, getting people to watch him talking for a second, and like, by the way, check out my new show right now. You don't even have to go to HBO. You're literally watching the show right then.
That's smart.
Yeah, hell yeah it is.
It's a fucking free commercial for you right there.
Awesome. So, and I wonder how many HBO subscriptions that shit's gonna sell. I'm sure. Is it like the Howard Stern effect, you know?
Yeah.
Or Sirius XM, whatever the fuck he's on. Oprah.
Get in, get out.
Oprah. Oprah.
What?
I don't know. Every time I talk about Howard Stern, I always think of Oprah. And then I think of like Oprah, and I'm like, man, she's got that guy Stedman. I'm like, imagine you're the guy fucking Oprah, right? Could you imagine?
No.
That would be a good life, though. Except for those like 4 or 5 minutes.
10 seconds. Just
whatever.
I get in, I'm done.
Oh, you'd have
sleep.
to 10 seconds. It would take.
No,
the problem with that, it would take a while. You'd be like, you'd have to work.
She ain't letting you off early, man. You gotta finish.
You'd have to work.
You gotta finish her
off. Put a
off.
lot of work in.
It's too much work.
How do we get there?
I don't know. You.
Sorry.
You've been in the woods too long. So
Oprah. That's all I had.
Yeah,
A copy of O magazine.
Fucking Oprah.
Oh. There she is. Oh.
God damn, this is all that's in this fucking cabinet. Jesus
Biscuits.
Christ.
Gravy.
Yes.
Well, fried okra.
Titties. Move around along.
Jesus.
Ass the nuts.
Okay.
Get in and out. Ryan Smith, will you guys watch CM Punk's UFC debut? That's right, debut. Whenever that will be.
Well, I probably will, but the question is it going to be the pay-per-view portion or the prelim portion? Where do you think?
Oh, they're going to put him on pay-per-view.
Okay, well then I have no choice.
You don't have a choice. Do I want to see it? No. Do I care? No.
He might surprise you.
He doesn't have, but the problem is he doesn't have a skill set.
I think I'd surprise you, Matt.
He might. But he doesn't have a skill set coming in. It's not like Brock Lesnar, who was a freak athlete.
Or you'd be surprised. Is that what he said?
Yeah. A heavyweight. You know, he had the collegiate wrestling. CM Punk has nothing.
Oh,
he has
man.
nothing. A work ethic. Ooh, big deal. So do all the other fucking guys that are
Yeah.
legitimate UFC fighters. This guy is
I
a
love
fucking joke.
He is a
Sorry. Out. No interest. Go to Bellator. No, don't taint Bellator. Go to World Series of Fighting.
Even worse.
I'm sorry. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Justin Dr. Bob Carter, he says, and Machida versus Belfort in Brazil. The Dragon on the TRT.
Oh, he'll never do TRT.
Probably does.
Doubtful. He drinks his own piss.
Yeah. He'll never do it. He's totally legit. And he says, when are you guys getting more shirts? And what question do I have to ask to win one? And says, read your mind and then ask it and wins the shirt.
Is he trying to mind melt you?
Yeah, I think so.
Did it work?
Oh, you can do that in Witcher, by the way.
Can you?
You mind meld people.
Nice.
They're like, you can't get in here. Like, I can get in here.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, that's
okay, I
sweet.
haven't
You
gotten
should
that
train
far
that.
yet.
You should
Okay.
train that ability, by the
Okay,
way.
Nice.
You want a T-shirt? Fine, done. We'll
Yeah.
see if I remember.
We do need to make some at some point.
We're working on another one.
You've been
There's
saying
one
that
right
for
there.
6 months.
I know, but I like to keep saying that because I like to
We're
keep.
working on it.
We're working on it. Got
Okay.
some ideas.
Yeah.
Better respect my authority.
Respect.
Alan Weir, do you think the UFC is turning into the WWE? The more I think about it, it is, and it's sad.
No, not really.
No, they don't have the walkouts. I think Bellator is turning more into the WWE than the UFC is, actually. With exception to that CM Punk signing. That's just jumped the shark kind of shit.
For sure.
Jimmy Langlois. First question, one has to wonder, is Steve Bosse still alive after last night? Tongue emoticon?
Probably not.
I don't know. Will McGregor ever shut the fuck up?
Definitely not.
No.
Why would he?
Doesn't have to.
It makes him money.
Says you hope Aldo destroys him and send him to sentence status. And are the MMA fans so butthurt to care this much about Romero's interview in a language he clearly doesn't speak? It's funny how he did that. but, you know, we should talk about that because he didn't say gay Jesus and
I didn't
whatever.
hear what he said. What did
He
say?
said something. It got lost in translation. It's kind of like when the Nogueras were talking about the gays. It was him
Love
trying
God,
to.
not the gays.
He
or
was trying to
something?
speak English, and someone was like, USA, something, blah, blah, fuck Jesus, gay Jesus is better,
Gay Jesus
USA
is better
than non-gay Jesus, faggot. I don't know what he said. Apparently, it's all lost in translation. He doesn't speak English that
Obviously.
that well.
Speaking of Jesus,
What?
somebody said something interesting to me this week.
Go ahead.
And they asked me this question. They said, why would you notice how Jesus is always portrayed as a white, extremely white guy,
Mhm.
right? What would make more sense, that he was totally white, or being from the Mediterranean, would he have dark skin and be quite hairy and have dark hair, and wouldn't that make more sense,
I don't know the backstory, but sure.
right?
I don't know any
So-
of this
so,
religion
like,
stuff.
Well, no, like Jesus is always portrayed as like super white, you know, like the white guy.
It's all smoke and mirrors. It's
Yeah.
all control.
Clean cut, shaved, and everything. Do you think he would really look
Oh,
like
he's
that?
bearded. Isn't
Huh?
he bearded?
I don't know.
My Jesus is long hair and bearded. Or is he a little 8-pound baby Jesus?
Baby Jesus. I'm talking about the baby Jesus.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. What the fuck do I know?
I don't know.
Anyways, it's the whole Jesus thing. He's a religious man.
He had like a fucking headband on.
You have a
I think
yarmulke
it
on?
said John 3:16 or something, whatever that means. I don't know anything about religion.
Me neither. I know it sucks. I mean, no, it doesn't.
But
it's good for some people.
Yes, the weak-minded. What?
You know,
I say I tried it. I went to a church. I didn't like the way they spoke.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way they spoke to me. And they're trying to make you feel bad. This is the way I thought. I went into it with an open mind. And I said, this is not for me. Yeah. I cannot subscribe to people talking to me like this.
There are good priests and pastors and whatever. It's a little cultish at times.
Yeah.
So.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
I sit more on the side of Buddhism than Christianity, I would have to say. So, that being said,
Matata, bitches.
Yoel Romero, I think, was just trying to say something, and he didn't mean to offend everybody.
He loves Jesus. He loves everybody.
And the gays.
And the gays. I think everybody should get the fuck off his balls, man. He's trying to be a good guy.
That's a big deal, the whole gay thing.
I don't know. People seem very upset. Like one way or another, and it looks like certain newspapers are not allowing people to have an opinion against that.
I see.
You
can't have gay people marrying each other!
Yeah. All these preachers are having heart attacks.
No! Oh, there was the one guy who said he's going to light himself on fire.
Good luck with that.
Like,
Didn't hurt, buddy.
That's great.
Didn't hurt.
That's right. The fuck's that going to do anyways?
Nothing.
Like, okay.
You kill yourself.
Job.
Great.
I'm going to kill myself because people did this. Yes.
You know, you can have your opinion. I don't give a shit, but
I'm cool with everybody. Don't be a prick. That's what I say.
Yeah.
You know, you want to worship like some crazy fucking snake god? That's fine.
Yeah.
Just, you know, go ahead. I'll listen to your diatribe and your ways, and I will form my opinion about how crazy you are, as long as you don't try to tell me that your way is the only way.
Right.
Right? But I have no tolerance for child molesters. Fuck them.
We should didn't do anything but don't molest a kid.
We should kill
them.
No, really, I'm okay with anything. You can fuck goats and whatever you want. I'm cool with that. Don't touch the kids. I really think they should shoot people who. I think.
Yeah, well, they take care of those people in prison. If you go
they do and they don't.
No, they do. I'm deep inside the prison culture.
You're deep in that, entrenched in the prison culture.
I have a background in criminology and let me tell you something.
They take care of those guys?
Those guys get fucked up day one.
Good.
You're the lowest on the rung. They fuck you up.
Yeah.
Nonsensically.
Good.
As they should.
They should fuck them up.
Moving right along. Matthew Whitehurst, last question. What have they done with Jon Anik, and who is the imposter?
Is the guy because he has gray hair?
He looks like he's been taking some sort of werewolf/chia pet injection. I'm not quite sure what is all going on here. I know he was partnered with the fucking Wolfman, Kenny Florian this time. Maybe that's rubbing off on him. He's trying to grow a little George Clooney action.
Perhaps.
I don't like it. I like old Jon Anik bald.
Bald?
Yes.
Yeah. He was always very... He's like Goldberg.
He's been very starey. I was watching the interviews. If you ever watched the Blackhawks, it was Pat Foley whenever he's doing an interview with someone. He's talking to him.
Yeah,
and then this guy talking to the camera.
He's just staring at him.
He's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't be all intense. Like, I understand you want to look at your buddy who's talking. You both have mics, but you need to not be fucking dead eye on him this whole time while he's talking.
It's getting close.
It's very creepy.
Scared.
I don't like it.
I'm intimidated.
I don't like it one bit.
I should shit my pants.
I'm just saying. It's a creep move, and I don't know why these guys who are the lead are doing that, because that happened in a lot of the Stanley Cup Finals too. I forgot the guy who's the lead, but he was doing the same.
Don Cherry.
I think he's still alive, wearing some crazy outfits.
I love that guy's suits, man. That's the best.
Holy shit, what the fuck? He's got like a white jacket with like red maple leaves all up and down on this shit.
That's the best.
Wow, he is.
Well, the Bulls Chicago's got that one guy, don't they?
Who?
I thought there was that one report, maybe it was ESPN, similar, covers basketball. He wears the crazy suits. Anyways.
Anything basketball, not interested. Not related.
Not even the cheerleaders? And their big old asses.
If they're big asses, I'm in. What else you got? A knowledge?
I got a
knowledge. Something.
I got the one thing. I meant to bring this up earlier. Man gets nose sliced off by samurai sword.
Is that bad?
Well,
was that
let me say,
supposed to happen?
Not really. But what had happened was they was drinking,
Oh.
And then there was some thing that had happened, and there was a hot dog involved.
Never play with a weapon.
I'll let you be the judge. Here
See,
you go.
now I'm touching my nose. It's
We'll go to
making my nose
YouTube,
hurt.
and we'll take it there. I don't want to sign in YouTube. I just want, motherfucker. I just want you to play my video. Please don't give me a hard
it's
time.
adult. It's
No,
adult
it
related.
was playing my
now you're
video.
fucked up. Now everything's going.
It's brutal.
This is what happens when you start talking about Jesus. It's blasphemy and go, Yoel Romero and his blasphemous
There you go.
comment.
Can't make it full screen.
Is this bad? Oh my God. Why am I watching this again? How bad do you feel if you're the guy that cuts your friend's nose off?
Slow motion.
So what happened? Did they save it though?
Look at his nose. Chopped it right off.
Yeah, but what, do they put it back on?
Oh,
Dude, that's bad.
that's really bad. First of all, don't let anybody hit you in the fucking face with.
Well, don't take out weapons. That's step one. If you're drunk, don't be playing with
No
a
weapon.
weapon.
Right. It's like somebody getting a golf ball and like putting a tee in their mouth.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna hit this off. You're like,
No,
no, you're not.
no.
You're not gonna do that. No, but I don't know. It's just it's martial artist related because there's a weapon involved.
Yeah,
It's not
that's-
quite newsworthy.
Oh man,
So this happened in Detroit. That's why I brought it up from my hometown.
fucking
I
Rock
love me
City.
some Detroit.
Rock City.
Yes.
That's it. Got nothing else.
That's it.
What else is going on? Next week we'll talk about the UFC 189.
Is that the McGregor?
Yes.
McGregor versus everybody?
Yeah, to be determined. I'll fight both of them. I can take both of them.
Yeah. Fuck him and his ribs. Fucking hell.
And how much money he spent on his training camp with the 8,000 square foot facility or wherever he's living. It's obscene.
McGregor?
Yes.
I think the UFC's paying for that shit, isn't it?
Probably. They should.
Yeah. He's renting some sort of mansion.
Yes. It'll not work out.
It's crazy. The fighting lifestyle is just crazy. You know? It's one of those, it's like, I think it's better than being a rock star. If you're
I
a
don't know.
successful fighter,
I'd prefer Rockstar.
Well, I would too,
because it's too much work to be a fighter.
The longevity is definitely longer.
Yeah.
And you can be fucked up and like play music and you're good. And you know, you can't be fucked up and like.
Okay, well, here's a perfect example. Look at Dave Grohl, right? We were just talking about him pre-show. Fuck, guy breaks his leg. It's like at a concert. He's like, ah, fuck, I broke my leg. Why don't you guys play cover songs for an hour? I'm gonna go get this fixed, and then I'm gonna come back. Fucking wheel him back out on stage, and he's still rocking out. That's the kind of living I want to live, where you break your leg and you don't even feel it.
Well, he's probably heavily medicated.
Oh yeah.
And you gotta love it because there's a guy who's in charge of his troops. He's like, all right, motherfuckers, I'm down. You play the cover songs. I'll be back. Like,
They wheel him back out.
we're not
there
done working.
Playing Under Pressure, little
Yes.
David Bowie Queen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Good on him.
it's interesting because he's the guy who was like behind the scenes of the whole Nirvana thing. But at the end of the day, he's the one who became the biggest out of those
Yeah,
three.
he's a fucking rock god.
Because of what, Novoselic or what's his name?
The bass player?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Tom Novoselic?
I don't know.
Tom, whatever. Yeah. Did you ever watch that documentary?
No, there's all sorts of ones out now.
Yeah, the
apparently.
Nirvana one on HBO. It's really weird. It's twisted, like some old footage and stuff. You guys should check that out. It's interesting. It's a little creepy.
Mhm.
So, because you know how the story ends. So
Yeah. It's not going to end well for somebody.
No.
That's
So,
it.
That's it. Shut it down. That's been this week's edition of MMANUTS.
Yes.
Until next time.
Thanks for plans.
Sorry for the interruption.
It's all good.
Good show.